we'll be seeing in real corporate, and we were talking in the initial class that sharing document, right? So it's very important that we use SharePoint to share documents across different roles, right? So
Right.
yeah, let me take a use case. Let us take a use case again here. Like we said, there is a team member, right? Team member, and team member will be creating all the requirements, right? And he'll be placing documents, some sort of documents in SharePoint, right?
Right.
And so the documents will be uploaded in SharePoint, let us say. So now let us say our team lead came, right? What he'll do, he'll just lock uh, the document. He'll And we said something like he'll be reading these documents, and if there is any modification he'll do it. And he'll so when he is reading the document, or when he is locking up, so these guys will never be able to do anything on that, right? So that is nothing but you're locking, right? And the same
Right.
way this guy will again check in or place the same document again in the same place, right? Like whatever these guys have checked in, let us say that is some version 1, right? Let us say team lead checked out this, and he did some modification with something he added, or he deleted something. And when he checks in, right, then which is he is trying to replace the same document. So we have so many options in SharePoint. We'll be learning about those things now. Like you can also make this replace the old document, or you can also make the same copy of documents in other way. Like the name will be same, but versions will be maintained. Like whatever team members have uploaded, let us say that is the first version, and whatever team lead is uploading is the latest version, which is 2. Again
Right.
we have one more, let us say we have one more role, which is manager role, right? Now again, once team lead is done with this, right, what happens, manager will check out, right? And if there is any everything say fine, then he'll just keep quiet. Or what he'll do, he'll first lock this document, he'll edit something, and then he'll check in. So whenever this guy checks in again, there is a new version being created, which is 3. Fine. And this is considered as the latest one. So here what is happening, we are using the same document. The first situation is we can create the same some document, right, some requirement document, and what team members did, he just uploaded into my site. Now it all based upon a developer, like, or if you are a SharePoint developer, it all depends on you whether you want to provide versioning of a document for such feature, right? Or if whether you want to give some features like check in, check out, right? Whether you want to give some feature like showing versions, like all these things will be done by developer. And now today, and for most probably tomorrow also, we'll be checking out something called documents, right? Which is very important. So these are the different topics here, which is creating how to actually provide users to upload document, right? How to make this document lock, right? How to make this document enable something called versioning, right? How to also we can do how to edit the document directly from SharePoint. Like editing should be done, right? Editing should be done directly. We said SharePoint will support all the Microsoft Office tools, right? We said. So in that way, what does it mean? It means that we should be able to edit, even it can be a Microsoft Word or a Excel PPT, anything it can be. What it does, we'll be opening that Word from direct from server, we'll do some changes, and then we'll get into the server again. So whenever we are doing, we can do something called locking. In a sense, whenever we are doing something, other guys will never be able to access the same document. Fine. So all these things will be checking out now how it is. And why I'm just taking a use case here, it like it's very important that in real time, if you are working for a corporate or anything, document libraries are very important, right? And you should know these things, like checking out how to give access to checking out, how to make your library or list capable of versioning, and how many levels. So here I said there are it will be versioning each and every step, right? So you can also limit these versions, which means let us say you want to keep only 10 versions of your document, you can do that. Or it all depends on your memory, or it all depends on your client requirement. We will be seeing how to do that anyways, right? Where let us say my team member is have checked in 3 different versions, my team lead will check in 3 different, my manager will different 3 different, so which means already there were 9 different versions of same document, right? Which means the latest document will be 9th version, right? So in 9 versions, let us say you don't want to have all 9, you can keep 5 versions, which means all the older one will be deleted automatically, right? So the latest 9 from latest 5 in the sense from 4 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be retained, which means the last or 5 to 9 will be retained, right? And all the remaining older ones will be there. So all these things will be done by SharePoint itself. You just have to mention what is the maximum number of versions you automated, so, right? So
Okay.
we'll be checking out all these things, and this is again very important. Just stop me whenever you get any doubt, right? Fine. Now let us check out. So again we have something called shop again. Okay, let's create, or let us do the same page. Doesn't matters anyways. But here we'll be seeing something called completely today. We'll be seeing something called how differently we can manage the document library. Okay, so let it be shop or anything. We are not more concerned on some functionality here. Sorry, but what we are what we need mainly is how to work with documents. Fine. Now, so in this same page, let me go and create something called site. In order to create document library, again you have to go to site actions, right? And you can see directly something called new document library, right? So here you can see the description. Document library is something which is to store and share documents, right? So that's why they have given it directly. Now click on this. Now it will take you directly to something called document library, right? So this is a page where you can give all the properties. Let me give some document library as some shop docs something, right? Shop docs, and just say this is section where all shop.
Srinath, sorry to disturb you.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm recording this, right?
yeah. I'm recording this. Yeah,
Okay. All right, no
I'm
problem.
recording this.
Right.
I'll share this with you anyways, right? Because
Okay.
yesterday's video I've recorded, but thing what happened is I was giving from some remote place. Actually, I was using some CPU PC. Suddenly
Oh,
power went off, and all everything got corrupted. I don't know. I'm not able to open that video. That's why I'm not able to share that video with you. But I'm
okay, no, it's
working.
fine. No worries.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just working on it. If it went fine, I'll share with you, right? But anyways, now I'm
Yeah,
using my
because I've
laptop.
got,
No worries at all.
yeah, because I've got the other video which you did, Muhammad. So I'm looking at that one, so it's okay. Don't worry.
Okay, that's cool then. Fine.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So this is a section where all shop docs will stay. Fine. Okay. Now just go that. Yeah, we need a quick launch. Yes, we need just quick launch, and just say here. Can you see here? So this is what actually what I was talking about. Like I said, your our SharePoint will allow each and every document type of Microsoft Office, right? So you can see here it will allow everything, and even the versions, older versions of your Microsoft are also allowed, and it also allows something called web part page and basic page. We'll be going in depth of these things again, right? When we learn something called web part, because web part is something which is again very important in SharePoint. We'll be seeing these things in that, right? So for now, let us take something called Word, Microsoft Word document, where we want to save some important docs, and click on create, right? So again let me confirm you again, whatever we are creating is again nothing but a library, right? Can you see here my separate we created something called separate library, right? Again all these things are again a children of list. if you know list and if you know something called view, right, all this is same thing, but this completely is again modified into something called libraries, right? Library, where you can do something which something on sharing or locking up all these things in your document, right? So now let us say this is a sample document library we have created. Now let us see how to upload a document. Again, it's the same as which we have seen something before, which is document library, right? It's the same thing where when we have seen something called resumes. Do you remember, Mohammed, which we have seen?
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing again, but we are going in a in a way where we are learning each topic, right? So that's why I again got into this document library, which is very important. And at this moment we'll be learning each and every topic in document library. Fine.
Okay.
Fine. So let us see how to add document. Again, let me click on this. We have something called add document, right? Just click on this add document. It will take you to a window. Can you see here? It will automatically will ask for something which is you can upload file here. So let me say I want to upload only one file. I've just created some files for this class, some sample talks actually, right? Let me upload something called sample talk, right? And let me say okay. Okay, so you can see here that my type is the logo will be displayed here, right? Okay, let me upload some other type called, let me upload some other document here which is some presentation, right? So can you see here the type, it will display the actual type logo of your presentation, right? And if you upload PDF, your PDF will be, if SharePoint is compatible to show the image of PDF, it will show, right? It will show you the logo of that. And we have something called the name of doc, right? And when you can see the modified date, right? It will show you the modified date and modified by and now. Fine. So in the same way you can also do something called, so sometimes see in most of the times you won't be uploading one document, right? Obviously, right? So there will be set of requirements for, as I've explained here, a team member can upload multiple documents at a time, right? Because he'll be developing so many documents for requirements, and requirement won't be only one requirement, right? There will be bunch of requirements, so he'll be preparing each and every document for each requirement, right? And he'll be uploading all those things at a time. Fine. And again, whatever I said here, versioning and all, I have explained all the versions for one document, and this will be same for all documents. Fine. Right. Right.
Right.
Okay, see, now let us see how to upload a bunch of documents at once. Here we have something called upload multiple files. Can you see? Yeah, so click on this, right? And you have something called, either you can drag and drop your files here, right? Or you can just browse the files instead. Now let me browse, and I've created something called, let me just select all these documents again. Now can you see what I'm doing? I'm selecting again the document here. I've already uploaded my presentation one and something called sample doc, right? But again I'm selecting those files. So what happens to this? Can you see here there is an option here, overwrite existing files, right? Which means whatever files we have uploaded, and if we are uploading it again, what happens, they will be deleted and the fresh ones will be uploaded, right? And there is one more thing, that if you don't want to disturb the existing ones which are in SharePoint, just uncheck this up, right? So that even if there is any duplicate document, it won't be replaced. Fine. So let us take something like, I want to overwrite this. Now here you can see a progress bar here. When you click on OK, it will show you that which document is being uploaded, and you can see the total size here, right? So how much size you are uploading, so what is the total size here, and you can see individual size here, right? And
Yes.
now after uploading all the documents, let us say you don't want to upload some document, right? Just go and click on remove here itself. Instead of going back there and doing, you can remove here itself, right? Now let me say I want to upload all the documents. Now let me click on OK. See, can you see here? It is showing what is being done. Now it says 6 out of 6 is uploaded, right? And just say done. When you say done, can you see here? All the documents are uploaded at a time. So this is nothing but we have uploaded everything at a time. Now you can see the date time here. Can you see the date time here modified? previously we have uploaded something called presentation 1, right. At that time, the time was 9:50, right. We opted for replacing a document. So what happened here, it got replaced. Now let me upload. Now the time is 9:54, right, and it got uploaded at 9:53. Now let us upload the same document again. Let me upload the same document, which is presentation 1, but I'll uncheck this and let me upload this. Can you see here, it says file already exists, right, and it was the last modified at night, because we have done something called don't overwrite, so that's why it gave something like this, right. Fine, you understood now. Fine.
Yes.
So here we have created this document library to save something called Word documents, right? Where it will be completely, and all the let us say all each and every document should be of type Word. But here we can also upload something called presentation. But let us say we are not supposed to use this in this in this predefined documentary or document library. So at that time, what you can do, you can just go and delete from here, right. You can just go and delete, right, so that your set or your list is more clear, right. You have only documents here. Fine. The first step is this. So what happened here, our team member, whatever they have prepared, right, they have uploaded everything. Fine. Any doubts still here? It's a straight one.
No,
Now let's move
straightforward.
on. Yeah. So just think about all these are some requirement documents, right. So if I click on any one, can you see here, you can see the properties. Just look at properties. Can you see here the versioning is disabled, right? Can you see here, I am not able to click the versioning, right, because can you see here, it says this control is
It's
currently disabled. So for versioning is something which developer should be enabling it for some pages where there is a requirement, right, and you should you should take care of this thing very it's very vital thing to do, right. If you allow versioning, which means you are allowing multiple copies of the same document. Let us say some guy have uploaded some 2 MB file, right, and if you allow versioning, and if you are if you are asking him to save some uh, or if you are asking him to save some 50 documents of previous, what happens, so the memory will be filled, right. So that's why you have to make sure that versioning is allowed only for some document libraries. Fine. So now let us say, as we are just noting about some requirement which is in corporate, and in corporate level, whatever you do has to be saved a copy of that, right, because it has to be for future reference. If you want to talk to any client or someone, you should have the older versions also. Fine. So in that way, now let me close this up. In that way, so let us see how to actually make use of versioning, right. And also, if I click on this, can you see any property called version? We can't see, right, which means our versioning is disabled, right. Now let us see how to actually enable your versioning. Now again, for this, go to library again, right. In library, this is very important. Again, in library we have something called library settings. Click on this. Now this is our document library settings. So where you can set all your libraries and all, right. Can you see here one option called version settings, right? Version settings, just click on version
Yes.
settings, right, and now it will take you to it will take you again to the same form where we have added something. Now can you see here, it says document version history, right. It was by default it will be no versioning, right. And now let me create something called create major versions. So there is, what is the difference between major version and major and minor draft version? Do you know what is, how actually we make versions of different product? Tripti, no. Let me give a very basic. It's very important to know this, because whenever you are allowing a document or something, right, you should be always or if you are a real time developer, even for a SharePoint site, you should maintain a version. So version is nothing but whenever you develop a product and give it to market, I'm sorry, any doubt in there, Mohammed?
No, no, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Everything.
fine, not a problem. So here, whenever we create any product, let us say our version is 1.0, right? So why we maintain 1.0 is we are releasing the product which is obviously first version, but we are making a clue that a serve version will come, which is nothing but your minor version. Can you see here? It's a minor version, right? And minor version will be, you'll allow minor versions only if, like, let us say there are some functionalities which are being developed in version 1, right? And to the existing functionalities, if they are adding, or if they are solving some bugs, or if they are adding some things into the existing, they go for minor versions, right? So these are first sub minor version. In this way you can go till 4 versions, which is this. So these are nothing but, this is the main version, this is the first sub version or sub minor version, and this this again we call it as again a minor version, but for some for leap changes, right? And again one more level. So these levels of versioning can be done, right? But in SharePoint anyways, we are allowing 2 levels, which is major version and one minor version. Fine. So now let us don't go into that depth anyways, because this won't be we won't be creating this much level for documents, right? If you are allowing someone to check in some code, then your subversion is allowed, or an application. But here we will be doing much of thing with document, right? So we can directly go for major versions. And here, can you see one option here? This is what I was talking about. It says keep the following number of major versions, which means I was talking about here. If there are 9 versions, like I can ask my SharePoint to allow only 5 documents to say, which means I can allow something like, let me give something called 5, or let me give something called 3, which means I can edit document, and if I save it more than 3 times, which means the older ones will be deleted and the latest 3 will be saved. Fine. So that is nothing but so this part of our story is nothing but how to do versioning of your document. Let us save and see how actually it works. Now your versioning section is done. Let's go back here. Now let me just go back again. Can you see the option here, version history, that? And
Yes.
if I click on view properties, now your version history is enabled. Can you see here? So now
Nice.
let us click on version history. So when I click on version history, it will give me, see, because I haven't edited anything, right? So can you see here, it is 1.0, which means I have uploaded my document and I have done no changes to it. Fine. So that is what is the version history. Now here, so let us say again we want to add a column of version. You can't see version here, right? Because each document you have, let us say for each document there will be a latest version, right? So, and if you want to see the versioning here, again it's the same thing. Go to library. We have seen something called modify view, right? You remember this? We created some views and we modified. So when we modify something, what can we do? We can add some columns and we can remove some columns, right? So I think we have already seen this screen, right? You guys remember this? No problem.
Yes.
So here we have something called version. You can see here. So let us check it up, version, and let us click on OK. So now can you see version here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So which means all these are my documents and I haven't made any changes to this. Now let us see how exactly version changes. Now let us say, so can you see one option here? Click on this. It says edit in Microsoft Word, which means as we have created this document library of form Microsoft Word, right? You remember we have selected from drop down that I want to upload all the Microsoft things, right? So that's why here by default you will get something called edit Microsoft Word. Now click on this, see what happens. Can you see it here? Now it is downloading our Microsoft Word from server now. Fine. So it again, that's why, see, whenever whenever now can you
Hello?
hello, can you hear me?
hear you.
There is some disturbance in some place, James. Okay, fine, not a problem. So now it's clear, right, Mohammed, Drupti?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So now we are trying to open a document here, right? And it is asking for some credential. Why it is asking for some credential? Because we once we upload all these stuffs into SharePoint, we have uploaded using some username, right? Some username
Hmm.
password. Now here when we come to user roles and permissions, there you will understand you can give permission to your documents and pages, right? So that's why every time you try to open your Microsoft Word, it will ask for your credential. Fine, because not everyone will not be able to edit, or everyone will not be able to do some changes in it, right? Which is again the same thing here, which means I have a team member, I have a team lead, and I have a manager, right? Only these three roles can touch upon, let us say, one page here, which is some shop page where there are documents uploaded, right? So that is how it goes. Let us say there is some other guys which are who are from some other project, they should not be able to edit that, right? So that's why SharePoint will ask you to enter the credentials. Now can you see here, can you see the pointer here, it just shown that it is downloading, right? Maybe you can just go back in your video and see, right? I'm recording this anyways. It just was showing here that it is downloading from server. Fine. And as it is downloading, it may take some time, guys. Fine. Till that point, let it download. Till that point, we'll go and we'll see something else now. Because
Is multiple editing allowed in SharePoint?
I'm sorry.
Like multiple people can.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what is nothing but a checking out, locking. We said something called locking, right? Locking a Microsoft Word or locking something. Yes. Your for your question, the answer is it all depends on how you design a page, right?
Okay.
So always we should design a page in such a way that we should never allow multiple guys to edit document at once, and we'll be
Mhm.
seeing how to do that, right? We'll be seeing. So can you see now here, my document is downloaded from server, right? And it gave me something. Anyways, in my document there is nothing. I just created few documents for you to see, right? Now it will always ask for something called enable editing, because we are getting it from server, right? Now click on enable editing. Now you can edit this in your uh, let us say this is a sample doc and I updated it. I'm just doing update, and let us go and just say save. Now I'm saving it up. Can you see here? Can you see here? It just said uploading into server, right? And it says uploading workflow status, which means whatever you are done, you are not doing locally. You are doing something directly from your server, right? Which means team lead directly opened our document and he is doing editing here. And so what does it mean uploading? Uploading is nothing but I just saved it. Now let us close this document, which means it is already saved, right? Uh, it is doing something in here, updating some work status, right? Come on. So whenever you download and download in the sense, whenever you just open it up and do something, which means you are directly working with your server, right? And anyways, servers won't be this slow. Servers will be, it will be multi-processor servers, and it will be much faster than this, right? You will never be able to see with your naked eye that you are working from server, but it will be so fast. The downloading of your Word document and everything will be much faster than this, right?
Mhm.
So I just, now it got closed. Now let me refresh this up, right? Can you see here what is the version here? It got
Yeah.
updated to 2.0. Now we said that maximum of 3 versions can be uploaded, right? Now how to see how many documents are there? Again, just go to here. You have something called version history. Click on this. Can you see now? I've uploaded my documents on 9:53 p.m. and after that, I've changed something and I've uploaded here. So now you see something here, which is nothing but a versioning of your document. Fine. So these are we version your document, and you can see. So here your latest version will be shown. Fine. Only latest version. All versions will not be shown here. You can see only the latest version. You can also see your version from here. Click on this and click on something called again you have something right here, all this ribbon. So why I'm not taking into all these ribbons is whatever you are doing here, right, is the same as this ribbon again, right? It says download a copy, which means you can download it into something in your right. It says email a link. When you click on email link, in the sense you want to send this copy right to someone, you can write email, right? All these things are seen here. Fine. So now let us say you want to sort this version anyways, right? It's the same thing again. Go back to modify view, right? And when you go to modify view, right, you have again something called sorting. How to sort, right? All the columns are there. Let us say I want to sort my version column in ascending order, right? And go and save it up. So you can see all the ascending order versions, right? Fine. Again, let us say now basically whatever document you are uploading, basically your list view should be again that you can create multiple views, right? From where you can create multiple views? You can create it from here, right? But anyways, whatever developer is doing, whenever create view or modify view, all these things, right, are done by someone called end user. They can create their own views, right? But the sample copy whatever you are giving here, right, he will not be able to go to library and do something called settings. Only developer can do that. Fine. So why I said is always modified, the latest modified should be at top, right? Which means we have to do something called, we have to sort our modified, let us say descending order. Let me click on OK. So the latest one will come up, right? Which is the latest the document been edited will come up. Fine. So this is nothing but a versioning of your document. This is how we version. How to version, and what are the different what are the different copies will be saved now, and how to see the version and how to modify from here. Now let us say I want to edit it again here. Let us see one thing, whether let us just click on edit and let me give the password, right? Until it opens, we'll see some other thing anyways. Let me give the same password here, right? And when I give the same password, now my Microsoft Word here will try to access this word from server, right? Same thing. So let it load. Now till then we'll see something called is it loaded? Okay, fine, let it load. Yes. Come on. I'm sorry guys, my PC, I've installed so many softwares that my PC got stuck up. I have to make this nothing. Okay, fine. Till that time we'll just see, because I till we complete this I cannot show how to lock. The next step is I want to answer Mohammed's question to how to make user lock when some other guy is using it. So that concept is nothing but checking out. Anyways, let's see from where we can actually do checking out on that, right? Now so here till now we have implemented something called document versioning, right? So what is document versioning? Whenever team lead is editing something and if he is uploading something, a new copy of document is uploaded, that is version. But during the process of editing something, team lead he should make sure that this copy of document is locked, and and only this guy should be able to read, and remaining roles can read that document but should not be able to edit on that, right? So that part is nothing but checking in and checking out. Fine. So we'll see how to do that. So for that, again we have to go to library, right? And you have to again go to something called library settings, right? Again we have to go for that into version settings. Click on this. Now here, where is that? Yeah, can you see here? It says require checkout, right? Require checkout in the sense, if you want to edit your document, it will make your it will make the user to make it mandatory to check out first and then make your edits for your document. So just click on yes. Is it? Yeah. First let us do this, guys, right? And let me go back to that. Okay, let's go back to that. Let me just click on enable editing, right? And click on updated. So can you see here again, this is an offline copy of a server document which was up to date, right? It downloaded my copy and it kept in my local gear, right? But whenever I say updated, I'll just say again third time, let me say, and let me save this up, save it up. Can you see here, updating to server, right? And your workflow is being status updated. Now it's saved. Close this up. Now can you see, just refresh this one, my version became 3.0. Fine, because I've done this upload again. Now let us go back to something called version history. Now let us see what is the version. Can you see here now? You can have all the you can see all the versions being saved, right? So these are we do actual version. Now let us see how to make check-in checkout for your library, which is again go back to library. Let's go back from here. So when you are here, go to library, go to something called library settings, right? Version settings, and here you have something called require checkout. So just say yes. Click on OK. Now go back to shop docs, right? Now let us see what happens here. Now let us say again, I'll click on this. I'll click on the same document. I'll say editing work as well. Can you see here what it is asking? It says you are about to check out and edit, which means if you want to see this or if you want to edit this, you have to check out. Which means whenever you are checking out, let us say I'm a team lead and you have uploaded all the documents. So when I open this document, which means you are locking other guys from editing this. I'll just say, and you have some option called use my local draft folder, which means you can also download it first, edit it, and if you save it, it will be automatically updated. But I don't want to do that, so what I'll say, I just say OK. So now it will open my file. Copy is being locked. Can you see here the file? This thing is being locked for share user admin. Let me say OK. Okay, it seems it is already been locked. Let me create up now. Okay, let me just go here and okay, let us take some other document, right? Let me go here and say editing Microsoft Word. Okay. Okay. Can you see the symbol now here, guys?
Yeah.
No connectivity because couldn't be retry open. Okay, now it is open. Anyways, right? It is open now. Can you see here? We got a green symbol, right? So whenever you get this green symbol on your image, it means you have checked out. You have checked out the document from and you have logged it. So now see, can you see here? It is opening your doc. Let's say this doc is updated, right? And now when you try to save it, it will save your, it is saving again to your server, right? Saving, it is saving to your server, and it is updating it for now. It is done. Now close it up. Now can you see here? it is asking here whether you want to check in or not. When you are closing a document or when you are done with this, make sure you check in. So whenever you're checking, just say yes, and here it will come on, it will ask you to close this up. I said yes. Okay, just say no. Okay, fine. My this is not allowing me any waste time. So here, even now it is being checked out, right? Can you see here? It says checked out to some guy, which means even everyone can see this actually. Everyone other guy whoever is using you and whoever want to see this document and edit, he can see this with whom a document is checked out. And if you want to check out, he can just contact this guy and can ask him to check in, right? If he is done. So in that way, that's why it is showing this. So just go here. Can you see here? There is an option for check-in, right?
Yeah.
If you are not able to do from there, just check in from here. Click on check-in. It will ask you to give some comments, right? You have to give some comments on what you have done. Let us say I have updated to new features. Let us say I'll just give some update comments here. So these are comments. Now it is asking retain your checkout after checking in. No, just say no because you are trying to check in. Just say okay. Now can you see my symbol is gone. Now if you go to version history, click on here, just go to version history. Can you see my comments here? Right? Now it's more clear that whoever is uploading new document, if I give a comment here, everyone will know that yes, this document is edited by team lead, right? The version 2 is being actually uploaded by team lead because he will be giving his. So here again you will see their username. As I'm giving you a training and I'm using continuously this admin, so that's why you are not able to distinguish this, right? But in real time these users will be different. Am I right? So some other guy, a team member will be different, team lead will be different, and my manager will be different. So which means modified by will never be same anyways, and it can be same, fine. But whoever is uploading, his name and domain will be saved here, right? Or it will be shown here, and corresponding that you can see what actually he has done. So and this comments will allow to any number of characters. You can write any number of characters in here, and you can see all the versions being uploaded, right? So that is how we actually lock it up, fine. And you have one more feature, like we just opened it from here, right? Edit. Now let me click on this directly, like which sample doc directly. Again it's the same thing, but here let me show you something. So can you see here, it just opened my file directly, right? When I clicked on this, but even now is it checked out? No, right? It is not checked out, but I just made it open. Now let me click on enable editing, right? Now it will ask for, because why it is asking for my password, because it is checking it is checked in and checked out protected, right? So that's why if you want to make it edit, you have to give your credentials. Let me give admin. Now now you can edit. Now let me say updated document at 10:22. Let's give some update and let me save it up. Fine. Okay, now can you see this? It says the server requires the file to be checked out and upload, because whenever you try to change something and upload directly, we haven't checked it out, right? So that's why you have to first check out and upload. Click on this. So now what it does is it will now, can you see this? Let me just show you this. Can you see the symbol now? Right? Which means whenever you directly open it here, even if you open directly from here, it won't do anything. It will just ask you to check out first and then upload. Now let me just close it up. So now even now you can see something called checked out, right? So now just go back and do something called check in. Okay, or you can also discard. Can you see this again? Discard checkout will make you to revert all the changes, right? Let me check in here and again checked in. updated, just say updated with some date and time, and just say okay. Now can you see here we have already updated this more than 3 times, if you guys remember, right? Even then, right, even then, can you see the latest one? Okay, not this one, okay, previous, anyways, right? Now you can see each version displayed here, right? So with all the comments here, right, and the version name and comment and everything. Now let me edit this doc one more time, because why I'm doing it one more time is I just want to show you here, in library settings, version settings, right? Here we gave something called keep number of major versions to 3, right, which means we are asking my server to keep only 3 copies of versions. Let me go and see whether it is keeping that or not. Let me click on this sample doc, click on this, give something called admin, click on that, right? So when you give credential, it will go and check the server whether you are the right user to download this, if you have permission or not. You'll be seeing up all the permissions and all in our upcoming classes. Right? Online operator. Let me click on this. Let me click on sample doc again. Let me give admin.
So basically, this check-in and check-out is when you update the versions, right, on the templates.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kriti. What was that?
The check-in and check-out is when you update the versions in the documents. Am I correct?
I'm sorry, if you update the versions in document.
I'm saying I'm trying to understand the check-in and check-out. Okay. So when you do check-in, you're just basically updating the versions of the document.
No, we are not updating the versions, but you are uploading the new updated document into your server, which means whenever you upload a new updated version, it will automatically increase your version number.
Okay.
Fine.
So
So
checking is uploading a new document.
see, these are two different entities, Trupti. I'll just give you, until this opens, I'll just give you a quick overview of what is the difference
Okay.
between versioning and what is the difference between checking and checkout, right? Now,
Okay.
basically, I'll just first explain what is check-in and checkout. Check-in and checkout is nothing but whenever you do checkout, let us take an example of library, right? So in library, whenever you go to library and whenever you check out a book from there, so can anyone can be able to access that book? No,
No,
right?
only you can.
Because we have checked out that book from library, right?
Right.
In the
Yeah.
same way here, checkout is nothing but you are you are you are locking your copy of a Word document, and you want to edit the document in your server, which means
Okay.
you are not allowing any other guy to edit on that, right? Now checking,
Right.
this process is nothing but checking out. Let us say
Okay.
you are done with all the changes, right? You are done with all the changes and you want to keep the document again in the same place, right? If you want to keep the
Okay.
document again in the same place, which means you have to do something called check in, right?
Okay.
Now
Right.
you have done here something called check-in and checkout, which means you have taken the latest version of your document, right, and you have done some changes to the document and you have checked in. So till this part, for editing, you have done something called checking and checkout, right? You understood till here?
Yeah, I
Now,
understood that.
on top of that, I said you have taken a latest version of document, and whenever you are trying to upload a new document, which means that document is not same as the document which is in server, right?
Right. Yeah.
Let us say in server there is a version called 2, and whenever you are trying to upload a new document which is completely different from that document, there should be some difference, right? So that difference is nothing but your version,
Okay.
right?
And
Checking in and checking out are two direct things to normally lock your file, edit, and get that file again to your server, right?
Right.
Now
Yeah.
here, let me just enable editing. Let me click on enable editing. I just open my document from here. Okay, when I click this, trying to open my document on this. So see, you can see here, still my document is not checked out. Now, let me do something. Let me give some time here and let me save it. When I just saved it, and when I click on save, see, it is asking me. Can you see here? It
Yeah.
gave me the complete, site tag. It is asking me to save. This can happen. Just click on save, right? Or just cancel it up. Actually, just click on the save. It is asking so many times. Let me open this way. First, let us check out. Okay, it checked out, right? And now click here and click on edit in Microsoft. It will open. Give the password here, and you can see here it is downloading your document here. So now you downloaded your document. Let me give something called 56 something here and click on save. Right, it says updating workflow status, right, which means it is uploading your fresh copy into server, uploading to the server, right? And it says again uploading a workflow status. Right, so once, just wait till this part is done. Right, this is done now. Just close it up, and you want to check in now, just say no. You'll just go back to server and check in now. If you click here, so can you see what is the version of your document here? 4, right?
Okay.
But if you go to version history, let's go back to version history now. Click on this and just say version history, right? Okay, so you are able to see all documents, but basically the older one will be deleted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, which is the oldest one? It should keep only 3 copies of this, right? It should not keep. Well, anyways, let me just first check in this. Let me check in first. Check in and then we'll see some. I just say updated something, right? I have checked in my document to my server and let us see the version history. Okay, fine. Anyways, you can see the older versions, but the thing is, when we did something like I want to keep only 3 versions, right? It should delete the oldest one, right? I'm getting this continuous problem with my SharePoint. Just try it out, okay? I hope even you will get it, because again, what is the first mistake we did? You remember, guys?
Yeah.
Installing your SharePoint on Windows 7 is our first mistake, right? You should always work with Windows Server 2008, right? Anyways, you'll just see all these things. Anyways, don't worry. But all changing up and all these things are done in the same way, right? As we have given here, though this is very important. As we have mentioned here, version settings that keep the following number of major versions. We have given 3, which means it will keep your 3 documents only, right? Let me give some 2 here. Let us see what happens. Let us say okay. Right, I have changed it, shop docs, and let me see the version history here. Okay, again I'm able to see this, but God helps here. Okay, so it should not keep, because right, it is straight thing here. Whatever we're seeing, right, we just saved it too, right? And I'm sorry, I can't help, because I'm working with Windows 7 here again, but basically it will delete your documents, fine. So that is nothing but so basically what you have to understand, you understand the concept, guys. But anyways, how it is working, when you actually go to the real servers and server of SharePoint, you will see all these things working fine. So here in our class we have seen something called how actually document is uploaded, how the document library is created, right? and how versioning is done, like how to get the column here, right? What are the different modified dates, how to sort this up, right? And more than that, we have seen how many versions you have to, how many copies of versions you can save, or what is the type of version, whether it is you want to save only major versions or major and minor versions of your document you want to save. That is all about your versioning. And then we have seen something called check-in checkout, like where you will be locking up something, and if you want to edit up and check in back, which means you are allowing other guys to get the latest and do something with that, right? So that's how we, you should allow, the end user to work with something called important document. So this is all about, document library we have seen, right? And this is how we do. Fine. Let me share this video so that you can just have a quick practice on this, right? And if you have any doubts, you can just ask me back again. If you have any doubts in versioning and check out what how they are different, right? Fine,
So
Mohammed.
Shreya, another quick question.
Sorry, yeah,
Yes, sorry to trouble you.
sure.
So say like being in a team, say the three of us are working in a team, right? Me, you, and Mohammed. And then if I upload something
Mm-hmm.
and then I check out and then I edit it and then check it in,
Mm-hmm.
then if you want to see that document, do I need to share my password and credentials with you?
No, I'll be checking out with my user ID password.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So we can still see the same thing on the portal.
Yes, correct. Because see,
Oh,
whenever let us say we three are colleagues working on the same organization, right? Now,
right,
whenever you check in the document, right? So whenever
right.
I try to go to the document, right, I'll be seeing only the latest version, right? So
Okay,
whenever I want to open it up, it will just say if you are checking out, if you have already checked out, I'll never be able to. Sometimes I'll never be able to open that even, right? And
okay,
if you're checked in, if I'm opening it, it means I'm opening only the latest version, but I have to use my own credentials again. For my credentials, the permission should be there.
okay,
If let us say I am a team member, we are working in the same organization, but I am a team member of some other project, right?
mm,
If I'm a team member of some other project, maybe sometimes I should not have access to CO document, but
right.
right. So there it all depends on permissions. We'll be seeing these things when we come up with permissions, right?
Okay, no,
But the final thing is, yes, if you are working under the same project, I can see the same document using my credentials,
okay,
but it won't work,
no,
right? So that is how we work with these things. And basically, usually, if you don't find SharePoint links and all, like how basically we used to use more this. Can you see here, email a link?
link, yeah.
Yeah, even basically in organization, most guys use this, most of the people use, because if you want to share a document with anyone, like, you won't be giving the SharePoint link and go to here and there, right? You will just select the
Right,
document and just say email link, which it will email you the link of this document, right?
right, yeah.
So
Yeah.
can you see the link here at the bottom here? When I
Yeah.
go to this, when I point to here, it says some HR site, shop docs and all, right? So this is a
Yes.
link which will be, shared with people. Fine.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
just try out once, and you can just have any more doubts, Trupti, Mohammed?
No, I'm clear right now. Yeah.
Okay, fine then. Let me just find it up here, and tomorrow we'll just meet on the same time and let's discuss
Uh,
something else.
Serena,
Yeah, Mohammed. Yeah,
so where did we give the setting like we have to enter the password every time we open the document?
yeah,
Like here we have to give our password and username every time we open the document.
yeah.
So where did we like set the setting uh, for this password for this
uh,
entering password
for
every
this
time?
entry, see, this entry we will not be setting this will be ask, if you want to log, actually here, if you want to log into some site here, right? If you see here, I have logged in as a direct admin because I'm working on the server, am I right? But the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
is, if 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 you try to access this page outside the server, right? You should use your login and your login ID password to enter into this site.
Yeah.
The first point itself, we should use your user ID and password, right? But which means if whenever if you remember, when we created this site, blank site or site collection, we gave something called username to use, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right. So that will be used here, and
Okay.
that is used, that will be used for a set of people. You can also give something called group. You
Mm-hmm.
remember that? Let me just go back to the same thing again, which we have seen, which is something like, yeah. Let me go to central administration. Okay, let us create something called square site collections. I'll just go. Let's show you something in fast manner. When we come here, can you see this check names, and we have something called browse, right?
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Here you can actually, here as we are as we are end users, we can have only end user names, but there
Mm-hmm.
is some concept in big organizations called group.
Mm-hmm.
Each and every team will be under some group, which
Yeah.
means like we just gave some admin, right? In the same way, there will be something called, let us say there is a company called some IBM, right? IBM, right? They'll give group name in this way. Let us say there is a project called utilities, right? And under that, let us say there is a project called mobile. So this will be group in this way at ibm.com. This will be email ID. So under this, all the team members will be tagged. So what they'll do, they'll create this site with this username, which means whoever are under this group, they can be able to log into that site, and other guys will not have access. So that is
But
what.
the
Fine.
administrator, what, so what do you do for the team and other guys who are not an administrator?
The team member will be under this group actually. When you are
Okay.
giving some group, which means there is a utilities which is a product. Under this product, there is a project called mobile. Let us say there is a project where there is something called mobile development, right? So under this, what they will do is they will tag all. Let us say we three are team members, right? And we are working in company called IBM, and we are working under some business unit called utilities, and we are into actual project called mobile development, right? So what they'll do, they'll create a group, and we all our 3 email IDs will be tagged into this. So when they create a site called some site collection, they'll give this permission, this username, the group name here. So what it does is, only the people who are under this group can be able to access this site. Tomorrow, let us say your admin, let us say we are admins. Let us say we want to restrict one guy to use this. So what you can do, you don't have to touch your SharePoint server, but directly go to this domain, delete his name. That's it. So how to do this? This can be done by someone who is maintaining the mail server. Fine, they can do, or their manager can do this. So we don't have to take, but you just have to give something called group name. Fine.
So they can be administrator. So administrator are the guys who can edit um, anything.
Yeah, administrator are the guys who can edit something on SharePoint site. But here, when you are using something called user ID password, right? This group name he may not be able to edit, because that is completely depending on the mail server, which is again separate thing. You have a mail, right? Let us say we have something called Outlook mail, right? Where most of the organizations use, right? So there will be separate what do you call, mail server, where all your emails will be registered. Like whenever you join a company, you will be getting that company's email ID, right? Am I right?
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
So that email ID will be tagged to one group email ID, because let us say your organization want to communicate something like, let's say we are getting Christmas in this December, and you will be having some few more days of holiday. If a corporation, if a company want to communicate this information to some 1,000 people, they can't go to each and every guy and say that uh, it's a holiday, right? So what they'll do, they'll create one email ID where each and every guy will be tagged up. So this tagging,
Group name.
even SharePoint guy will not do. Again, anyways, this is out of SharePoint scope. You don't have to worry about it. but what whoever is under this will be able to access. So how we are checking is nothing but this will be checked with your mail server, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So
Um,
yeah.
Actually, my question was more about how how administrator is different than the user account.
Okay.
Because I thought like administrator are the ones who could just administrate the site, and the users are the just the users of those sites.
Yeah.
That's just curious. Where do you
Okay.
put the users?
Fine. I'll give you that. I'll give you. See, I created something called web application, right? When I created my web application, which is, if you say new, right, we can
Hmm?
create a web application, right? So whenever I am creating my web application, I created with a username called admin here, right? Can you see? When I first logged in into my site, let me open this again first. Let me open this something called Sharepoint Central Administration. Yeah. So now whenever you want to enter into administration site, what should you give? You should give something called username and password, right? When you give your username and password, which means your site is now open with your admin, right? But for
Yeah.
end user, that credential will be different. It won't be admin, it will be end user. So at
Okay.
that level itself, it will be cut down. At that level itself, it will cut down that yes, the guy whoever is logged in is a end user. Now end user will never be able to browse this site, which is central administration site,
Okay.
because only a guy with named admin or only a guy who have got the permission for this site can open. Whoever is working on the server can work. But SharePoint server, let us say if I give this, let us say this is my server where my IIS is deployed here, right? And let us say my machine is in network, right? I can give this URL to some other team member. I can ask him to browse, but whenever he want to browse this site, not this site anyways, the site which we were just looking into, right? We just created some collections and all, right? Let us say this site again. Now can you see this? I just gave this URL to browse, right? But here again, what he have to do? Here, don't confuse these guys. He will be getting something like this. He will be getting something like this, right? This is something which I have saved. Whenever you use something like admin and admin, it will save your username for you. This is a Windows 7 feature which we have, where your username will be saved and you can give password. But basically they will be getting like this: provide a username and password, right? When they give their username password, automatically, right, the site will be opened considering that it is an end user, not admin. And for that they will not give all these things. They will never give view all pages. No, this won't be there. So as your admin, you are able to do all the settings and all, right? But as an end user, you can see nothing. Again, take an example of Facebook. Can you edit anything on Facebook?
Yeah, I understand. So where do
Yeah.
you add the user accounts?
That yeah, exactly,
Nameplates?
that I'll show you. Yeah, I was expecting that question from you. I'll take you to that in our users and permissions. But to be more to give you answer at this time itself, you can add in Windows 7. I'm saying in Windows 7 you can add your users in here. Go to control panel, right?
Mhm.
If you can see here, there is something called user accounts. Where is that? User accounts. See, click on that, right? Can you see here? Let me say manage another account. Can you see here? There are so many users, right? I have just created. So if you
Mhm.
want to create more users, here can you see? Create a new account. Let me say I'm giving something called Muhammad, right? I'll just give this and I'll make it as a standard users. Can you see this? Standard user,
Yeah.
which means I'm making it is an administrator role or a standard. Let me give it as standard role. Create account. Can you see here? A user is created which is Muhammad, right? Which means you can give this user and this user will stay in server. Am I right? So whoever
Yeah.
want to log in, he can use Muhammad, and for Muhammad you can set something called password. Set the password and give this role to the end user. So whenever he logs into this user, right? what happens, you will be giving some features to him. These things will be seeing in user accounts and access things, right?
Okay.
But basically we create users from control panel, or you can also create user from here. Just right click on your my computer, right, and go to manage. So when you click on manage, right, so I've clicked on manage now. So you'll get this window, right? I hope you guys have seen this screen is something where you have something called computer management, right? So here, can you see this? You have something called local users and groups, right? So I have created something called Mohammed in here. Can you see Mohammed here? Automatically it got an added here, right? So that's where you have added something called Mohammed, and you have all users, admin, Johnny, and all, right? So this is how we create users in server even. Fine. And you will be giving the same username and password to the users, and you will ask him to log in. These are again nothing but your NT logins. NT login is nothing but your networking login. But again, Mohammed, you will understand these things because as so these bigger things will be seen only in you know organizations, because you need something called NT logins. You'll be getting all these networking logins, big group logins in corporates, because in our home we don't need, we will be having at most one or two or three computers, right, not more than that, right? So
Yeah.
again, all those three computers will never be connected, right? Each computer will have their own user ID and password. Fine. In the
Mhm.
same way, you will have more machines or more users in corporate where they will be creating something called networking user ID and password. So at that time, if you want to log into SharePoint, you will be using some username password called NT login, right? All these users access will be created by NT networking guys, not by SharePoint guys, and you just have to use the NT user and password to log into your SharePoint server. Fine.
Right.
So that is how we create users here. Now again, if you want to create again, just right click here and create a user, right? You can create your user even from here. Fine. And whatever user you create here, it will just come back to, it will just come back to here, manage accounts, it will come back here, right? So this is the create, this is a part of create user I have shown you from Windows 7 here. But anyways, NT login, whenever I said NT login, right, which is networking login, that will be done by networking guys of your company. Fine. At that time you don't have to worry about the users being created, because all user management is done by someone called network manager. A SharePoint guy will never create separate uh, users. You will be creating only page permissions, that's it. Fine. Any doubts, Mohammed, again?
No.
But I'm sure that even now it will be messy for you what is NT login and all. But only thing is, when you go into actual corporate, you'll understand more, because even when I entered into market, it was a bit confusing, like why we have to use so many users. But when you actually enter into organization, you'll understand what is the different users, what are the different NT logins, what is different groups of email and all. Fine. Again, groups is nothing but your Google groups. Have you ever seen Yahoo groups and Google groups, right? If you
Yeah.
register to that group, and if anyone emails to that group, you will be getting the mail, right? In the same way, the concept of the group here is the same here. Fine. If you give access to one email ID, and that in that email ID, if some guys are registered, which means that will work for all of them. So that is nothing but a group and the end user. Fine, Mohammed.
Yeah.
So that is it, and I just wanted to inform you one more thing. Rohit called me today. Uh,
Yeah.
Hello, Mohammed. Trupti, are you
Yeah.
guys there? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Rohit called me today, and he was asking you guys to call him.
Okay. We'll call
So
him.
yeah, you guys just call him, okay? And you can, I don't know. He just wanted to talk to you guys, right? And he just asked me where we are. So I just said the current status, right? And I said I just said, we have more time to go. I just wanted to talk to you guys. Just give me a call whenever you're free, right?
Yeah, sure, we'll call him.
Fine, Mohammed and Jyoti. So let's wind up here. If you have any doubts, let's clear up tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll meet at the same time, right?
When will you help me with my site collections?
I'll right now. I mean, I
Okay.
just want if so, Mohammed, you want to stay, you can stay, or you can just sign off so that I'll just look into Truthi's machine.
Okay. So is that libraries that we cover the topic today? Creating libraries.
So we have covered something called document library.
Okay.
Under libraries, there are more libraries I'll be giving you, but we have
Mhm.
learned something called document library today.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So, anyways, we'll be having more libraries because there are some other types of libraries again, right? We'll be learning on more libraries in our future classes.
All right.
Fine then, Mohammed. Any other questions?
No, that's all.
Okay. Then I'll just close my screen here because I have to access Trupti's screen, right?
All
And
right.
Mohammed, I'll see you tomorrow same time, right?
Okay. All right.
Okay, Mohammed, see you then. Bye.
Bye bye.
Hello, hi Trupti. Can you hear me now? Yeah, can you give me your ID and password? I will just check out what exactly. Yeah.